Nervousness couldn't even begin to describe how you felt right now. You was currently riding in your carriage to the Phantom of Estate on the account that you was invited to a ball. Your parents granted you the freedom of going alone, although now you wish you denied their offer. The gentle rocking of the carriage as the horses pulled it in front did nothing to calm your nerves as it normally would. After all, who wouldn't be nervous? You have been invited to a ball by the Queen's watchdog, which sounded both regal and intimidating. Sooner than expected, the carriage pulled to a stop, and your driver jumped down from his position to open the door for you. You opted not to take your butler with you. After all, you originally wanted to go alone, which wasn't the smartest decision you had made. Thanking your driver for everything, you bowed slightly before walking down the path that led to the front doors. Pulling your fur coat closer to your body, you shuddered in the cold night air. The walkway seemed impossibly long. By the time you reached the door, your legs felt frigid as your ball gown did little to protect them from the chilly breeze. The doors opened before you could knock, revealing a tall man in a suit. He had black hair that fell and framed his pale face. He was mostly striking. He had red eyes, unlike any eye you've seen before. They were captivating, yet terrifying at the same time. You cast your gaze away from him to keep from staring. Then he spoke. Goodness, his voice was like the finest silk. It was smooth and calm, with a charming tone of reality. You were so caught up in the beauty of his voice that you completely ignored the question he asked. Realizing your mistake, you blushed, embarrassed how you was caught up in the man's looks. I'm terribly sorry. Can you repeat that, please? You asked seemingly afraid, almost afraid in his presence. He smiled a bit and tilted his head in a warm manner. That's all right, Miss Wyan. I only asked if I can take your coat, my lady. Wait, he's offering to take my coat. Is he a butler? You couldn't help but be surprised at the fact that such a handsome man was most likely a butler, and you couldn't help but wish that you had a butler as attractive as he is in your home. You nodded strongly, trying to keep yourself from getting lost in his voice again. His skilled hands quickly slipped off the coat, putting it into a closet for storage. You paused, hoping that you didn't offend him, on the off case he wasn't a butler. Possibly a butler here? Finishing your sentence quickly, the man stared at you in what to see to be amusement. I am a butler here, my lady. My name is Sebastian Michaelis. I'm pleased to be at your service. He finished with a bow, surprising you a bit. He stood straight again before offering you his hand. Shall I guide you to the dance hall, madame? Goodness, there was that voice again. He didn't sound like a butler, but he sounded like a well-mannered prince fit to take the throne. Lifting your bare hand into his gloved one, he briskly walked through the manor, with you slightly trailing behind. Your mind wandered as you looked at the incredible decor. You were so caught up in the mansion's beauty that you didn't notice your arrival in the dance hall, where dozens of attendees waltzed freely. You also hadn't noticed Sebastian's grip on your hand, which tightened a bit every time he caught a man looking at you. He looked down at your face. His own thoughts wandered to how beautiful you look. Your eyes sparkled as you looked around. As soon as you noticed that you were arrived at your destination, and still holding Sebastian's hand, you immediately blushed and gently shook his hand from yours. Thank you, Sebastian. I appreciate your help. You smiled gently, which caused the butler to fall more in love with you. Although he doesn't seem like it, Sebastian believes in love at first sight. And his benefits were confirmed when he saw you. There you were, a sweet-looking young girl, dressed for the dance. Your eyes showed that you was nervous, afraid even. But that's something he loved, the sweet look of fear on your delicate face. He wanted to see you like that all the time, looking at him, trembling. Why would he be more adorable than the cats that would occasionally play in the garden? He had to have you, all to himself. He wouldn't let no one get in the way, not even his master CL. Wandering aimlessly onto the dance floor, you looked around for someone to dance with, although you found yourself unable to find a partner. Sighing a bit, you decided to move off to the side to stay out of everyone's way. Before you could actually leave, however, a boy around your age grabbed your shoulder. You turned around to look at him, and you had to admit, he was attractive as well. He was only slightly taller than you. He wore his smooth brown hair loosely in the front, with a back section being pulled into a small ponytail. He looked well-groomed, but he seemed as nervous as you were. Would you care to dance with me? My name is James, by the way. A shaky hand reached out after asking. His voice was small and incredibly adorable. You smiled before taking his hand and walking off to the dance floor. For how shy he acted, James was a wonderful dancer. His graceful movements largely contrasted with your awkward steps. Just calm down and relax. I'll lead, okay? Attempting to relax, he took a deep breath in and simply followed what he was doing. It began to become fun, as he two got to know each other. Meanwhile, Sebastian glared from the side. How dare that pig touch his precious? Her precious hands were now tainted of the disease of the one who did not love her. Growling as he watched the boy pull you close, and he saw your cheeks blush pink. He should be the only one who make you blush, the only one who gets to see your adorable blushing face. He should be the only one who sees you, the only person allowed to see you. The dance with James was enjoyable, but before you could react, it was time to change partners. I'll see you later, my lady, he called as he was whisked away by another woman. As soon as your hands were released, he was picked up again, but this time by someone you met before. Hello again, my lady, a familiar voice spoke into your ear. Flinching at the surprised gesture, you blushed it out a bit. Sebastian, I didn't expect to see you here out dancing. He seemed to laugh a bit at your surprise before closing his eyes and dancing with more experience than all the other dancers. Wow, I never knew you were so good at dancing. You should give me lessons sometime. I would love to learn, he complimented, feeling your heart flutter as he too spun around the floor. He opened his one eye slightly, peering down at you. I would love to teach you sometime. In fact, how about I teach you right now? We can move to a secluded area and our lessons can begin. Without thinking, you accepted the offer happily, allowing him to lead you further into the mansion. He took you so far that you were sure you'd be lost without him there. Now, my darling, the first rule is to do whatever your partner asks of you. So, you follow and I'll lead. You nodded as he spoke, although you felt your face heating up from when he called you darling. Before long, Sebastian had taught you the basics of dancing, and from somewhere down the hall you heard your name being called. You stopped dancing to try to figure out who it was, but Sebastian stopped you. Keep dancing, he said. There was a darkness behind his tone. He wasn't asking. He was certainly commanding. He continued to try to find out who was calling you, ignoring his command. I need to see who it is, though. They might need something from me. Once you heard your name being called again, the voice sounded closer this time. You finally realized it was James. You started to call out for him, but Sebastian put a gloved hand over your mouth. Rule number 1, he spoke quietly in your ear. Do whatever your partner asks of you. You struggled against him, trying to push his hand away, doing anything to get away from the butler, anything to leave this mansion. Stay here. I'm going to take care of this problem. Sebastian growled as James called out again. A movement too far to recognize, Sebastian was gone. You ran off into the hall as fast as you could, looking for James. As soon as you found him, as well as Sebastian, who was telling James that you weren't anywhere here with him. Hiding behind the wall, you eavesdropped on the conversation, and you listened in. I saw you take her, butler. Where is she? James sounded more strong and more confident than ever, filling your chest with a warm, happy feeling, a sense that he cared about you. You heard Sebastian sigh before turning to face who was hiding. My lady, won't you come out now? I know you've been hiding there. Frozen in fear, you didn't even move. You didn't even breathe. Then you heard light footsteps coming your way, and before you knew it, you was picked off the ground. You opened your eyes to see Sebastian's hands holding your torso. Just under your arms, struggling his hold, you reached out to James, hoping he would save you. Without a second thought, James reached out for your hands, gripping them tightly as he pulled, attempting to reach from Sebastian's grip. Let go! Sebastian hissed sternly. James shook his head vigorously, tugging harder, making you whimper in pain. Oh, no, you hurt my kitten. I can't allow that. Now I can. Kitten? He nuzzled into your neck, causing you to shiver slightly. Fresher than you ever seen, Sebastian whipped out a silver butter knife and threw it into James' chest. The boy coughed up blood and wounded onto the floor. You screamed at the top of your lungs, yet no one came to your rescue. Sebastian hummed a bit, as his face still in the crook of your neck. How about we continue our dance lessons? You shook uncontrollably, shaking your head no and crying. He wasn't the kind of butler you met earlier. He was a monster. See, my lady, I don't normally do things on impulse, but I love you, and none of my master's commands can make me ever let go of you. With those words haunting you, he carried you to what you assumed was the basement of the mansion and locked you down there. We'll play again soon, kitten. I promise I won't be gone for too long. No matter how happy it seems, you only wish that you had never seen him again, that you had never seen him in the first place. He was no man. He was a monster who left you more than anything else. Hey guys, Thank you for listening to the ASMR. Sorry this video sounded kind of weird at points, like my voice changed. Is that during the thing I was making edits and I found out I was realized that I could just like cut out the parts I stuttered at and just blend it together. But sometimes my voice like changes while I'm recording and I don't notice until I listen it to myself. But I do not have enough time to change it because I want to get out to you guys by today and I'm going out later on, like in 10 minutes, so I have to go get dressed and all of that. Also, if you made it to the end of the video, can you please put RIP small bean James in the chat, because James did nothing wrong. All he wanted to do was protect you and all of that, and he got killed. He did not deserve that. RIP. But anyways, I hope you guys enjoyed the video, and I'll see you probably next Friday or next Saturday. So I'll see you next time. Bye guys.